the Anfield Wrap post-match pint after Marseille 0, Liverpool 3. As Arne Slot's Reds have taken a huge step towards qualifying for the knockout stage of the tournament. I'm Neil Docking here with Kev Reilly and Josh Sexton to talk about a brilliant night for Liverpool, a brilliant night for Arne Slot, a brilliant night for those boys in red.
Absolutely, yeah. I was expecting you to get your start in there. Are you planning on doing that at some
I'm
point?
going to unleash it later.
Okay, right, okay.
Hold fire for the stat. Don't give that in the free 5 minutes.
No, yeah, good work. Get that retention up. Just so consummate, wasn't it? Like we were kind of discussing a little bit off air there. The mixed feelings that came after the Burnley game. I think one of the things that upset me most after the Burnley game was that we'd taken that step forward in a great performance against Arsenal, and one that felt like it was relative to the opponent. It's hard to know what you take from Barnsley really, but Liverpool get the game won, and again it's sort of consummate, and then Burnley is just like consummate to a point, but so frustrating how easily the goal was conceded, and then so frustrating that they don't get themselves back into the game to win it. And basically from minute one tonight, it felt like it wasn't good. They weren't going to let it go that way, like they weren't going to let adversity creep up or in any way sort of affect them, and they just won this game from start to finish really. And Marseille were a mad team. They were basically exactly what I was expecting from like a bunch of ragtag De Zerbi lads with one genuinely awful human being in it, of course, but just like brilliant from the Reds from start to finish. So much like swashbuckling football from especially a couple of lads up top, which I'm sure we'll come on to, and yeah, not much to dislike really.
No, I mean from front to back, I think there's a lot to love about that performance. At the weekend, for the best part of 50 minutes or so, it was a good performance on Liverpool, but they'd found the first goal. What frustrated me immensely was the lack of urgency in trying to find a second, and in realising that you just put this game beyond doubt. And what's great there is that they get the goal just before half-time. They ride a bit of a storm, maybe 10 minutes, so storm might be over-egging it, but 10, 15 minutes they have to defend well, they have to be strong, and then they get the second eventually, and they put the game beyond any doubt.
Yeah, I love European aways, me. A resolute performance. The difference being, apart from Burnley, is that this wasn't Burnley. This wasn't the worst team in the Champions League. This was a decent side who are scoring lots of goals, albeit in the French Cup. And a really tough away ground again, which is a bit of a cauldron. I thought that we handled everything really well tonight. Like you say, defensively, really, really solid. And I'm happy to say just a bit more exciting as well. Like the attacking play was great, finding space between the lines and really, really punching balls through midfield from defence, which was really good to see. Both fullbacks playing really well, our striker playing really well. I mean, to a man, I think everyone performed really, really well, which is great to see. And most importantly for me, it was the two halves being positive. I'm really happy with a nice, resolute, positive performance in the first half, and then withstanding a little bit of pressure and carrying that through into the second half. And all the goals were lovely, weren't they? I just thought it's a bit unlucky that the second one's called their own goal, because wow, Frimpong just does so well there.
All the goals were lovely. All Liverpool goals are lovely. Some are lovelier than others. I mean, we could start from the front to the back, really. Hugo Ekitike doesn't get on the score sheet somehow. On another night, he could have come away with two. But I thought with Mo back in that front line, with that extra additional threat, and with Wirtz pulling the strings, and then with Szoboszlai joining them, and forming that four that made it so hard for Marseille to get out, to build. There was a lot of turnovers, we kept winning possession, we pushed them back, and then I just thought a lot of our attacking play was fluid, and even when we didn't score some of those early opportunities, we were creating chances for chances. You could see that we were getting closer and closer. I thought it was a really good attacking display from the Reds this evening.
Yeah, and not to sort of jump too far back, because you mentioned from front to back, but I think you kind of see the benefit of the flying fullbacks, which is what we all dreamed of, I guess, in the summer when we signed Jeremy Frimpong and when we signed Milos Kerkez, is that you get to create overloads in very tricky areas for opposition teams. And if you've got a front three that's already consistent of Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, Mo Salah, you've got enough on your plate there to worry about. But then when you have Dominic Szoboszlai making late runs into the pitch, and you add Jeremy Frimpong and his pace out wide, and how much him and Mo Salah can sort of not necessarily interchange, but just almost completely swap positions, where sometimes Salah will drift out wide and Frimpong will bring the ball in, or sometimes Frimpong will hit the byline and Mo Salah will be almost a number 9 threat that you have to worry about there. And then similarly with Kerkez and Wirtz on the left-hand side, who I think Kerkez has come on so strongly. He's probably the player that I've flipped the most on in terms of opinion this season. I think he's just been brilliant the past few games.
YouTube Press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.